Welcome to Follow Your Joy podcast, where intuition is the doorway to your wisdom, your genius, and your joy. I'm your host, Marla Diane, and I've been transforming creative entrepreneurs' lives for over 26 years through two businesses as a success coach and business strategist, and prior to that, an entertainment publicist and talent manager. It's time to make joy your inner GPS for life and business decisions, rather than lean on your logic and your reason first. You'll not only be following what is most authentic to you and for you, but you will live the beautiful life meant just for you. You'll come to learn that following your joy is a life and a business strategy. So listen in for inspiring entrepreneurial stories and solo casts that illuminate listening to your intuition is certainly the doorway to your wisdom, your genius, and your joy. Not sure how to access, use, or trust your intuition? Join me in the conversation to find out how. Hello, we are building quite a momentum with my new podcast, and I am thrilled. I dreamed of serving my community in this way for years. I love inspiring, humanity, guiding people to believing that they can manifest their desires and release their old imprinted limitations in order to listen to their intuition and follow their joy. So welcome to episode 5. I have a captivating and beautiful creative woman who will inspire you with her wit, her intelligence, and her vulnerability. Before I formally introduce her, I want to acknowledge this episode is sponsored by the Zen of Abundance and Prosperity, a 90-day hybrid summertime experience. It's designed for 8 high-value creative women entrepreneurs who desire to be mentored in how to collapse the time frame of achieving their long-held desires by mastering the power of energy and intuition, use proven tools of manifesting, redefine money rules and beliefs, and live by the mindset of the miraculous to allow your desires and goals to happen in a much shorter time frame. So I have an application page link in the show notes that will take you to all the details. This is a different process to enroll. I'm having you fill out an application that will qualify you for a 30-minute one-on-one call with me to discuss your dreams and desires and if this is a fit for you. Application deadline is July 8th, and I look forward to reading your submission. So I am delighted to introduce you to Sophia Autosoa of Soph Script Co., a wedding and event calligraphy business. She was born and raised in Southern California, and I love this short bio, so listen to this. Sophia has always known that being creative would be part of her story. Growing up with Nigerian parents, though, she thought she would have to wait until she retired from a real job before pursuing it seriously. However, in college, Sophia stumbled upon her first art side hustle, creating calligraphy painted graduation caps for seniors. She caught the entrepreneurial bug and shifted towards wedding, her favorite kind of celebration. Sophia built Soph Script Company to expand her calligraphy artistry while she finished her master's degree. And today she works in education research as she builds her artistic wedding business to add beautiful, meaningful moments to celebrations across the country. Wow, Sophia, welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right. So before I launch into our questions, I want to share how we met, which was at an industry event hosted by WIPA, which stands for, those of you that don't know, it's Wedding International Professional Association. And we met in March of this year, in Los Angeles at the cool rock and roll themed hotel, the Andes on Sunset. Remember that?
Yep.
And one of my clients, David Krieger, who is a much respected DJ in LA and Atlanta, we love David. He introduced us and he spoke of his coaching experience with me. He's such a good networker. which led to a fun discussion then, of course, between Sophia and I.
Yeah.
And yeah, she became a private client shortly after that in April of this year, where I have witnessed her beautiful transformation in a short amount of time, mind you, in her self-worth, her value, her entrepreneurial vision, revenues, her money conversations, and so forth. And the successes just keep continuing. So I'm always proud of you in what you've been able to accomplish, especially balancing this, education career, right, as a professional in that industry, and your emerging wedding business.
Yeah.
You're very dedicated to learning and applying what you learned. It's very admirable.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's turn this over to you and tell us in your own words about the work that you do and why you chose this as a business.
Thank you. I love getting to create beautiful moments. And I always say that I live a life where I can't go without having something to be excited about, something to look forward to. And if there's nothing to look forward to, you can't just sit there and wait for it to happen. You have to create them. So whether that's redecorating your room that you've been sitting in for 10 years, make it look new and be excited about that. So every time you're in your room, you have a new, fresh experience. And so that's basically not something that I decided to create, but is just how I'm wired. And so finding that I could use the artistic skills that I have learned, gained, cultivated for celebrations just became natural. I am the go-to in my household. When there's a birthday, I'm writing the cards, I'm addressing them, I'm wrapping the gifts, all of that. So it was just a natural flow to go from my personal life to a business where I can just enjoy creating celebration.
I love that.
Yeah.
So give us an example of what that looks like for your clients. In other words, what's your trademark style and delivery?
Oh, good question. I think surprise is a good way to sum it up. Mm-hmm. I think wedding planning can be magical at the beginning and maybe at the end, but in between, you get bogged down. There are a lot of logistical details involved in actually planning a wedding that can maybe start to suck the fun out of things, but I want to inject fun into the process. And so part of it is just that you get to do something for your guests that surprises them, whether it's a personal note. For example, one couple I'm working with right now is having 3 celebrations this year. They are Muslim Nigerian, so they have the introduction, which happened in March. They have the traditional Nigerian wedding that's happening in Nigeria in July, and then the Western white wedding dress wedding in Italy in October. And so just getting to, keep the fun going all year long has been really exciting. And so I asked them to, they trusted me to come up with some amazing designs for their invitations. And so I asked them, what's a note? What's something that you would like to say to all of your guests prior to this last part of the wedding celebrations? And they could pick a quote, passage of scripture, anything. And they just wanted to say thank you to all of their guests. And so they said they wanted to put it in English, put it in Yoruba, and put it in Italian. They don't know where this is going. Guests don't know that this is coming. And the couple is just excited to know that this is a beautiful message that I'm going to incorporate, and they will be surprised to get it. And guests will be surprised to get it, just to know, there's a personal connection between them and all the people that are going to be invited, instead of knowing that there's going to be, some mass party where the focus is just them. They wanted to turn that love back onto their guests, and I get to help them do that.
My goodness. I absolutely love that. I mean, this is the first time I've heard anything about the Nigerian culture. So there's 3 celebrations when there's a wedding.
Yes.
Wow, that is really
And each
fascinating.
one will be a couple of days. So yeah, it's going to be a really exciting year.
Oh, that is so fascinating. And it ends with, of course, our favorite place in the world, Italy.
Yeah.
So that's the actual wedding.
Yeah. So all of them, I think officially, I don't know which one they're going to go with as their official wedding date. And I'm like, what anniversary are you celebrating? I don't know. But yeah, so at each one, they are doing a different wedding component. A
Got it.
lot of people I know, I'm a Christian, so I haven't had that first introduction part that she did. But for weddings that I've been to, the traditional part incorporates like the groom has to essentially guess, quote unquote, his bride. There will be sisters that come out and cousins and bridesmaids. They will all be veiled. And I've never seen anybody get it wrong, but he has to say, nope, that's not my bride, and identify the correct one. And then we proceed from there. And the families talk about, like, you are taking one of our special children. What are you going to give in exchange? Now, back in the day, there really was a whole dowry. Now it's just keeping the fun and the tradition alive. And so they give this daughter to the groom's father and says, like, I'm not going to give my kid to another kid. This is your child now. I want you to take care of her the way you would take care of your children. Oh. And so that's day one. And typically the next day is the American wedding that most people are used to. And so that much I expected. This bride is taking it to another level and just amplifying it. It's been really awesome.
Wow, that's really fascinating. And so you are calligraphing the 3 languages.
Yes.
In the invitations.
Correct.
Isn't that's just, to me, just fascinating. Wow.
Super exciting.
It really is. Oh my gosh. Okay, very good. So that's good, because it leads us then to the joy question. Really, what brings you the most joy beyond the surprises, the surprise element in your work, in your business, and why?
It's seeing the reaction when you know that you've nailed something, and whether it's, you've hit on a really exciting emotion, and, bridesmaids get some kind of gift that says, oh my God, I'm super excited to share this day with you. Or if you do something like an engraved perfume fragrance for, the mother of the bride, and they share a special, quiet, soft moment. You get to be a part of some of the most important moments of people's lives and create and inject all this meaning there. A gift could be a gift. I could get that same perfume at the store 2 weeks later, and it doesn't have the same meaning unless you've added something personal to it, whether it's an inside joke or a nickname that only mom calls you, So being able to see that look, especially when I'm in person and I see that I've nailed it and they feel it and they're going to cherish it. Yeah. That is the best.
Yeah. Yeah. In my world, that's called You Matter. Mm-hmm. It's a way to, express that you matter. Yeah. And you're doing it obviously artistically with your calligraphy, that they receive this, and it's wonderful. What else? I mean, what else as part of, let's go to beyond the actual client and the joy that, of course, it brings you. As I said to my last guest, Jordan, it's like anyone that's in the wedding business is in the joy business. You're there to bring joy, but beyond that, let's have you look for a moment at you running your business. What part of, that's, as as we've coached and so forth, is how to find that sweet spot, right? How to bring the two together. It's had the business part, and then there's the, the creative part.
Yeah.
What part of the running the business so far, since it's still new to you, what brings you joy?
I think coming up with something unique with a client. When they are open and trust me to make something that doesn't exist on Pinterest, that is amazing and thrilling. And the actual act of, obviously, I do this because I enjoy painting and calligraphy and writing things out and getting things just right. And all of that aesthetic stuff is pleasing to me. I thoroughly enjoy that. And I could do that all night long, no sleep, no food. But the actual act of, someone saying, I trust your creativity, this is more than just the business that I've created in the past couple of years. I have been writing since I could hold a pencil. I've been drawing since I had a crayon in my hand. And, the opportunity to say that, someone trusts my eye over 20 something years of figuring out what looks beautiful to you, what looks most meaningful to you. And someone says, yes, I want you to do what you do best for the most special day of my life. Go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
I'm on cloud 9. That is amazing.
Well, and that is obviously, as you've learned, that's when you're in your zone of genius.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Right? The magic word, zone of genius.
Mm-hmm.
When you said, no sleep and no eating, and, that's what happens. Hopefully you take care of yourself, but yes, that's what happens when we're in our zone of genius, is that time passes, right? We love being in that space. Everything else is kind of shut out.
Yeah.
Right. And especially for a creative, we are in that imagination. And that's what I'm hearing, when you're able to create something that's not on Pinterest, it's something that's different. It's not,